metaphor. Whole hammers like Monty Thor. I run it like volleyballs. Papa's getting Cali love. I need the kind of love where mama's getting babies hugs. New drop, the city buzz. Stand strong, I never buzz.
This is a Jmix exclusive.
Yo, I'm Gabbo out of East Baltimore, a.k.a. Gabbo. I'm a hip-hop artist, you know what I mean? I was signed 2010 to RBC Records. I done worked with some of the biggest acts in the world behind the scenes. A few of the names you might know. I done been on a tour with different rap groups, recorded albums with Kim Waters, you know, hit the road with State Property, been in the Jay-Z video, a whole lot of things, man. Like I said, right now, I just signed on with Murchison Motion Pictures as an actor. I'm also writing movies and television shows. I'm pitching 3 shows this year. So I got my fingers crossed, and I'm the proud owner of my YouTube channel, Gabbo Sam. Oh, yeah, and I'm the CEO of New Tribe Entertainment. CEO.
That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, hey, shit, I carry a big stick.
What got you into your rap career?
Yeah, well, I mean, hip-hop, man, I gravitated to hip-hop because it's like a rhythm to it, like a spiritual thing to me. Like when I hear it as a kid, I stopped what I was doing no matter who it was. And my mom was a poet. She would sit in the house, and she was a housewife, you know, and she would write poems, and I would try to write stuff, but I would like try to write songs I hear on the radio. She was like, no, why don't you write your own stuff? She said, why don't you write a rap? So when I got older, I would bring raps to her and let her check it out. And she was like, you could do better than that. One day she wrote a rap, no lie, man. She wrote, the only time I seen my mom write a rap, she wrote a rap that was like 10 times better than mine. My feelings were hurt. And look, it was like a spiritual rap about God and like being a better person. And I wanted to like take the rap for my own. I was going to bite my mom's shit, but it was like so like wholesome. I probably would have been a laughing stock of my neighborhood, so I just left it on the table, but it was phenomenal. You know what I mean? Mom was dope. But you know, my sister used to go to a lot of hip hop shows that would come down to the Civic Center, the Baltimore Arena, and like they would make her take me to like I guess keep her out of trouble. And she took me to a LL Cool J show, and it was phenomenal because everybody was there to see LL, but in my little narrow mind, I felt like they was there to see me. Like I had my chest out. I was like, yo, I could do this shit. Like, you know what I mean? So I would like, I started out as a beatbox for people. Like I used to do the human beatbox. Don't ask me to do it now because I probably suck. I probably sucked then, but didn't nobody tell me. But that's not the origin of my rap.
Now, you went to an LL Cool J concert. Tell us about connecting with LL Cool J. Now, you actually connected with him in real life, right?
Yeah, man, it's so strange because, like, LL was one of my favorites as a kid. Like, LL, Cool G Rap, Dougie Fresh, Wu-Tang, Special Ed, Nas, Tupac, all these guys, man, I really admire it. And it's so funny, we met with LL down at Universal Distributors. He was down there actually working. He had just finished his GOAT album. This is like the early 2000s, and I was this bright, wide-eyed young rapper, and it was like, we gave him the demo tape, and he had already heard some of the stuff we had gave to Bimmy. And he was like, that's the kid right there, man. That's him, he's dope. So they gave us the number, man, and, you know, next thing I know, me and Kim Waters, we up in New York City, Ilion Avenue, Jamaica, Queens, and we pull up in front of some row houses. And I was like, man, they gave us the fucking wrong address. I'm f***ing with the guy that drove us up there. And they like, nah, it's the right address. So we get out, man, knocked on the door, open the door, lo and behold, it's a state-of-the-art, like straight-up record company, hidden in some row houses. LL Golden Platinum plaques all on the walls, giant speakers, everything, a receptionist, a lobby, everything you could think of, man. It was dope. You know, the problem was, man, LL wasn't there. I think if LL was there, it would have made a difference. He was off filming, what's that, Rollerball? One of the movies he was filming in Canada. And, you know, the guy, the A&R named Tony Rome, was offering me $3,000 for 2 songs. One of the songs I have on my YouTube channel right now, check out Who Cares. You know, I wrote it the day I dropped out of high school. And Kim Waters produced the track, but the problem was Kim Waters was a millionaire. So you offered him $3,000 for something he worked on. He's like, man, go yourself. Me, on the other hand, I was like, when can I get the money? But after I talked to him, he was like, you know what, man? You got to have some pride. And he's right. I can hear my dad saying it too. You know, have some dignity. You know, if it don't feel right, don't do it. So I basically told them they needed to pony up some more bread. And they told me I was unappreciative. And, you know, I had a golden opportunity for writing a rap for LL Cool J, and I blew it. And the way they worded it was like real slick. Like, they like, LL's either going to do the rap over, or he's going to let you do the rap. You know, we cross that bridge when we get to it. But we didn't make it that far to see what capacity they wanted to use the material, because when I asked for more money, like I said, once again, they took it off the table. But I was fine with that, man. I mean, it is what it is.
Did that make you lose any respect for LL?
No, none whatsoever, because Al wasn't there. LL was excited, to be honest with you. You know, like I said, we had gave it to Bimmy the night before, Bimmy from Def Jam. Now, LL was doing his joint venture through Warner Brothers. Def Jam wanted LL to stay an artist. LL wanted to be, you know, like a Jay-Z or a Master P of his own shit. So Warner Brothers was going to give him his own umbrella, give him his own, you know, label. It was going to be called Rock the Bell Records. And now I didn't lose no respect for LL. I think, matter of fact, if I can get in front of LL today, I think we would be good. It's just, you know, Al wasn't there, and the A&R, I guess he thought I was being cocky, but I just knew what the song was worth, you know. I'm glad, you know, I took a pause and really, you know, surveyed the situation, because I probably would have just went and did it just to say I did it. But in the long run, LL would have probably made millions or whatever, and I would have only had $3,000 somewhere in the corner upset. And, you know, that wouldn't have been a good look, you know what I mean?
No doubt. What's it like to grow up in East Baltimore?
East Baltimore is like every other city, man. You got the same characters in every hood. You got the fat boy, you got the dirty kids, and I'm just joking. You got the bullies, you got the spoiled kids on the block, you got the drunk guy. I mean, it's the same in every hood, but the only difference was Baltimore City was the juvenile murder capital, you know, in the whole country when I was growing up. And, you know, my dad actually started, it's 11 o'clock, do you know where your children are, God rest his soul, Mr. James Dupree Sr. He called the news station one night and said they ought to put out an alert to remind parents to locate their children. And it caught on and spread all over the country. I think they even said in some different, you know, other countries. And in the early 90s, he actually started the program. So it went from being a slogan to actually being like a building with like people that worked there. Him and Lenny Moore, the former Baltimore Colt, and former Governor Schaefer, you know, all got together, you know, and beat the pavement and start going to these neighborhoods and communities and, you know, asking parents could they identify where their children are through like middle schools, elementary schools. The kids would actually sign up and they would drop by the house unexpected. And if you could identify where your children are, the kids would get like free haircuts. The girls would get like their hair done. They get book bags, calculators, little educational stuff. But, you know, it was a reward nevertheless for children to stay, you know, in the comfort and the safety of their own homes. So with that being said, I ain't staying in the house. You know, I was out in the streets, you know, man, to the grace of God, we having this conversation right now. But, you know, I had a good foundation. Like I said, we grew up in a nice house. My father worked hard. My mom was a, you know, good housewife. But where we grew up at, man, was the most dangerous part of, you know, Baltimore City. So, you know, it was like, man, you had to see it to believe it.
Now, you and I obviously share a connection to Tupac. What drew you to Tupac's music?
I tell this story all the time, man, but it's private, so I ain't said it on my channel yet. I'm giving you an exclusive right now. It was a guy in my neighborhood named Speedy. Speedy went to Dunbar High. Speedy could play basketball. He could play football. I seen Speedy in the hood, right, in the yard. You know how people have like the clotheslines you hang like the clothes on? Speedy could walk one of those, man. He was a super athlete. So Speedy wanted to be a beatbox, Cuban beatbox. So he said he had a rapper out of New York, and he was gonna bring him through our neighborhood. They was in a talent contest. He was this, he was that. So me being a kid, I couldn't wait to hear this rapper, you know. Plus Speedy was, you know, really cool. I looked up to him, you know, about 10 years older than me. So I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to see this rapper he gonna bring through. And when he brought the rapper through, the rapper was quiet. Now keep in mind, it was drug dealers and, you know, a lot of, you know, thugs all in the alley. Cause we had a tree in the alley. We didn't even have a basketball court. We had a hoop on a tree with like a piece of wood for like the backboard. And, you know, we would walk past like real basketball courts to go hoop on this tree because it was more about like socializing. So when he brought Pac through the first time, he ain't say nothing. So, you know, after that, didn't nobody really pay him no mind. And then, you know, it was another time that Speedy was cutting somebody's hair in his backyard. So my homeboy Fiddle was like, yo, Speedy fucking that man head up. So everybody laughing. So I come out the corner store, I had like an orange drink in my hand. They're like, yo, come here. So we all in the alley looking. And he gave this guy, you know, like on a fade, you're supposed to blend the sides. He just gave this guy a bold fade. Like this shit look like an eraser, like for real. And you could see in the guy's face, the guy wasn't really thrilled about people laughing, but, you know, he was new to the neighborhood, so he just kind of like sat there. And, you know, it was Tupac. And, you know, I ain't laughed because he his hair bad. Speedy could do a lot of things, but the brother could not cut hair. So, you know, so, you know, with that being said, Tupac's name was so unique. My brother David used to call him Teapot. And, cause he, like I said, he would come back and forth with Speedy all the time. So, you know, just watching him go from that to like seeing him on TV and like seeing him in Juice really tore me up because I was rooting for his character, you know, like, wow. And then when he died at the end, it's almost like how his life played out. Like you was rooting for him and you're like, damn, why he had to die, you know? And it's like foreshadow because Tupac was one of the only people I was like worried about. Like I could see something bad was gonna happen, but of course I'm watching from a distance like everybody else. But you can almost feel like watching a motorcycle go down the road like at 100 miles an hour. You like, yo, if he hit a pebble, something bad gonna happen. You know, you could like, I could feel it.
How surreal was it to see the greatest rapper alive and not know it? Get a bad haircut. Dude, have that story. How surreal is that to you?
Well, but see, the funny part is it's kind of blurry though, the haircut part, because didn't nobody at the time see Tupac the greatest rapper of all. You know what I mean? At the time, he was just a guy in the backyard falling victim to another one of Speedy's famous haircuts. So, you know, years later, looking back at it, you like, wow, we was in the yard with Pac, and my man Bobo, my man Fizz, always get me to tell that story. Again, tell them when we was in the yard with Tupac. Well, we wasn't in the yard. We was looking through the gate. Some of them was going, you know, little kids bad. Some of them was actually going in the yard, like getting an up-close look at this guy's haircut. I wasn't that brave, you know. I was just sitting back, because even I knew it was a bad haircut. You know what I mean? So I just was like, you know, but looking at the whole thing, like, the whole thing in a nutshell, like, I definitely felt the connection to Tupac. You know, I feel like, just like, wow. You know, and he kept in contact with Speedy for a long time. Matter of fact, I know quite a few people that, you know, had a real relationship with Tupac, like homeboys. I didn't because I was so much younger. But I've been in the same circle with him. You know, it's amazing.
Now, you have a YouTube channel. Why did you start doing a YouTube channel?
Well, being the nut that I am, I'm real creative. You know, if I ain't writing, I'm watching something artsy always got to be going on with me. I know I drive Sam crazy sometimes. So if I don't see what I'm looking for on YouTube, I try to make it. You know, that's how I found like your channel and a couple other channels, you know, looking for Tupac stuff, looking for Nas stuff. And I would get her to make stuff for me, and these little 3-minute videos, but I'm real particular how I want stuff. So I'm like, put this there, put that there. And I drive the poor lady crazy. So she said, you know what? I'm going to teach you how to do this on your own. So I'm saying to myself, I could hardly walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. How the f*** you going to teach me how to edit video footage? Like, many times I've been in the studio, I never wanted to learn how to produce because I like to stick with what I'm good at. You know, I'm a creature of habit. I don't like to switch my stuff up. So she's like, look, let me show you, you can get it. So she showed me, man, and she created a monster. I always say she gave a chainsaw to Leatherface, man, because, like, I do it compulsively. You know what I mean? I like to do it out of habit. It's fun to me. You know, it's the creative juices that flow on me the same way I'm writing a rap or the same way I'm writing a story or a cartoon or superheroes or comic books. You know, I for my YouTube channel. And, you know, she actually showed me how to do it, and I get all the credit for everything, but she's definitely definitely the wind to my kite, you know what I mean? Like, I get all the credit. I'm the hero with everything I do, and she's so low-key. I said, you know what? I could put the lady name on my channel. So that's how I came up with Gab and Sam, because, you know, she actually showed me how to edit film. But I got to give a shout-out to the homie Lay Legend because I didn't take it that serious. He was telling me, like, yo, if you're going to do this, be serious about it. So, you know, I treat the YouTube a lot differently after he said that to me, and he showed me how to monetize, things like that. And, you know, like I said, at the beginning of this year, I had 2,000 subscribers in January. Here it is, January next year, I got almost 15,000 subscribers. So, I mean, I got to give a shout-out to the people that watch my channel, man. I love y'all. Keep watching.
We do have a lot of the same fan base. A lot of people have made comments about you in my live stream, positive comments, asking me if I watched the channel and stuff. And there was even rumors that we had a beef, which I'd like to dispel on this interview. I've never said anything bad about your channel.
Yeah,
but,
you know, and I appreciated that because when I asked you, you straight up like, no, I ain't call you no pussy. Where you get that from? And, you know, then you saw my comments where people was writing that to me, like, he just called you a pussy. I'm like, well, I ain't never say nothing to Jmix. Like, you know, I ain't got no problem with Jmix. Where that come from? You know what I mean? And when you said you ain't do that, they cleared a lot of stuff up. So, I mean, it's all good. We both share love for Pac, and we both, you know, doing our thing on YouTube, man. And the internet is a big place, man. Like, I don't understand why, like, everything got to be competitive. Like, you know what I mean? Competition, like, get your money, do your thing. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it.
I am never upset at another man's success at
Right.
all. And I tell you what, I've watched some of your videos. I'm a fan of them. I do have a question to ask you. You brought up Lay Legend, who's in the. I've seen his videos. We've had words, me and him, but it's all love. It's all good.
Really, y'all had words, Jmix. You know, y'all had words. I didn't know that. No, just kidding.
No, it's all good. It's really all
right.
Good. But do you think that there's a possibility that Tupac is alive? Because I've seen a couple of your videos where you kind of hint to. You've heard people say that.
Right. Like I alluded to before when I was saying that some people that knew Tupac a lot better than I did, you know, that really knew Tupac, you know, some of them actually did. Like the guy Fred. I told this story before. Y'all don't be screaming at the computer. I don't know if Jmix heard it. But my sister Rachel, the same one that used to take me to them LL concerts, had a friend named Fred. You know, and Fred got all types of pictures with Tupac. You know, Tupac coming town. He take Fred down to Anna Harbor, they eat crab cakes, you know, they was tight. When Tupac was back in 94, Fred got a bunch of pictures with him when he came back to town because Tupac got a lot of family here in Baltimore, a lot of family, a lot of friends. So when Tupac died, my sister called me on the three-way. Now, she thought Fred was crazy. She said, Jason, Fred want to tell you something. I said, what's up, Fred? He said, yeah, I want to let you know Pac ain't dead. He called me. And I'm laughing. I'm thinking he's pulling my leg too because, you know, this Tupac was dead for maybe 2 weeks or whatever. Maybe, you know, a little longer or less, I'm not sure. So she giggling like, is he Fred? Are you crazy? Like basically laughing at clowning Fred, not clowning the fact Tupac is dead, but clowning Fred for what he's saying. And he was like, no, I'm dead serious. Like, call me, let me know he's good. And the people is on TV saying he did that know him, they just doing that because they trying to protect him. He was like, well, man, Pac is good. He let me know he's good. I'm just telling you because I don't want you to be worried about it, blah, blah, blah. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, to this day, I'm wondering, like, you know, is he alive myself? Because I know for a fact Fred knew him. He knew him well, and he did say that to me. But on the flip side, I talked to other people, you know, that really know Pac too, and they say the brother dead. But it's like, who really knows? Because if the police knew everything, somebody would be held accountable for it. So I'm like, it's definitely a possibility. Like I said, like a lot of people say, it's more proof that the brother might be alive than it is that he did. So, I mean, I don't know. Have you ever seen the death certificate, Jmix?
I have a copy of it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, see, you just hit me with something. I've never physically seen a death certificate. Maybe that's something you could do a show about if you haven't already.
No doubt. And I just want to put it to you this way. I'm not being adversarial. I know that there's a lot of cases to be made. I heard a story from Tommy D, and I hope he doesn't get upset that I put his name out there. But he knows the guy who cremated Pac, and there was a big payoff. Or even allegedly cremated Pac. There was a big money deal, like $2 or $3 million. It was a very rushed thing. So I will concede, like to your point, there are arguments to be made for either side. So I didn't want you to think that I'm coming at you adversarial. I like your content. I'm genuinely curious as to, if that's what you thought.
Right. Well, Jmix, I got a question for you. Since when does a cremation cost $3 million? That's crazy to me. The fact that he actually admitted that Suge was telling the truth and the price what the cremation cost. Because a lot of people want to say Suge is making that shit up when he said that. Well, the fact they both confirmed the price let me know that there's some truth to what Suge is saying. A $3 million cremation. What did he have? What did he use? Some gold utensils when he cremated him? Like a cremation here, and cost $1,000. So I mean,
it's if he said, I think the numbers were different that Tommy D said too, but still, I mean, that it's very suspicious. I'll concede that.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, I'm not the one that's like, that Tupac alive all the time. I wrestle with it myself. You know what I mean? Is he alive? Because I try to use good common sense in both aspects of it. You feel me? But I can't on somebody for thinking he is alive because, like I said, it's a lot of proof that he could be. But like I also said, but if you deal with like reality, or if you deal with the narrative that he is dead, since they saying that he is dead, then my thing is, I wrestle with who could have done it. I spend probably 90% of my time looking at that. Like a lot of original ideas I brought to the table. Like who would have done it, motive, why, when, how, that type of thing. Out of sheer curiosity, not to instigate or inflame anything. It's just being inquisitive and also wondering, like, do people really look at all aspects of this case? I mean, they say they do, but, it's people much smarter than I who can't solve this case. But what I'm saying is sometimes it takes fresh eyes, fresh ideas to, to really get to the bottom of things.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And I tell you what, dude, the thing about Tupac is there's always something to talk about. And like I said earlier, not trying to pigeonhole you with that because you do all kinds of videos. You do topics that range from that to like the specials that came out, and I enjoyed some of those. What do you think about the Fox and A&E specials? What do you think about those? Do you have an opinion on those, man?
Yeah, of course I have an opinion on it, man. At first I couldn't stand Ben Crump. Way before the A&E thing, because every time he would show his face, the people I was rooting for would lose. Starting with the Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman, highly publicized trial. When he lost that, I just felt like it was key things that they didn't bring up that could have, I believe, put George Zimmerman away. Like, okay, real fast. For instance, when the operator was talking to George Zimmerman when they played the tape, when George Zimmerman was saying, they always get away with it. They always get away with it. And they cut it right there. But when I heard the whole video on YouTube, he was saying they always get away with it. They always get away with it. Then he said, but this one's not getting away with it. Now, to me, that's intent right there. He's telling you that he's going to stop this guy from getting away with whatever crime he perceived he was doing. And they cut the video too short for me in court. And I knew when, they didn't play the whole thing that Zimmerman was going to get away with it. So I already felt like he dropped the ball with that. And then when he couldn't even get, he couldn't even get the people couldn't get that cop in St. Louis to even get at the trial. I just felt
the
like
Mike Brown case?
Of course, Mike Brown. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I just felt like, maybe he wasn't as powerful as what I was hoping he would be. I was trying to figure out why he's the go-to guy. Like when there's always a case like this, they always go to him. But with that being said, I started out, giving the guy opportunity. If you go back and look at my channel, I was saying, give Ben Crump a chance because, it's something redeeming in him that would make people go to him. So, I was hoping he was going to do a real job in trying to, figure out what happened to Tupac. But, he started out good. I thought the show was very entertaining. I think it's one of the best documentaries I saw pertaining to Tupac. But he lost me how he brought up the gun thing and just ended the whole thing. I'm like, wait a minute, he just left us all hanging like that. Like, what does this prove? And then, what was the whole point? And come to find out, that was something they already had planned. Basically, the narrative with Blondie and he found the murder weapon and things like that. The book the young lady put out. So I was kind of feeling like it was fool's gold. Like they already had a motive before it even started. And I thought they was go a little deeper in the show, but who am I? But I'm always willing to give these type of shows a opportunity, give them a chance because, once again, the content is Tupac. The moment we stop talking about Tupac, that's when he really died. So I think if we really fans of Tupac, you should embrace people talking about it. You don't have to like it, but give it a chance. If you don't like it, then you don't like it. But for people to say stop talking about him, I mean, that's crazy. Why would you stop talking about Tupac?
That's what I say to a lot of people. That's a very good point that you made because I say to people, they're like, let Tupac rest. And I'm like, I've talked to so many people that knew Pac that I know that he told many people that he literally and lyrically said, I want to be a living legend. I fully believe that Tupac wanted this, that he wanted people to talk about who killed him, is he still around, tell stories about him. That's from a very young age. I have found through all the interviews that I've done that from a very young age that's what he seeked, that he fulfilled that destiny. And I feel like channels like yours and channels like mine just try to keep that spark and that legacy going. And I think that's what he wants. And you said that perfectly. I agree. I fully agree with that.
You know what else, though, man? It's so crazy because I never hear people say, if Pac ran out of content, if we ran out of content talking about Tupac, or Pac ran out of material or subject matter, that would be one thing. But the man been allegedly dead for over 20 years, and the stuff never get old. Like before the Tupac and Biggie wave hit a couple years ago, I used to always say, we never seen this before. We never seen a situation where not one but two of the most revered artists of that era get murdered right in front of you, and people just move on. Like, how you y'all so quick to just move on? Like, this is like uncharted waters. It's unheard of. You know what I mean? And like, how can you be so quick and, just let it die off? Like, man, no. This is very, very valuable stuff, man. And I don't mean monetary. I mean, as far as history, for the culture, for the sake of just right and wrong, we shouldn't just let it die off.
king of the metaphor, whole hammers like Mighty Thor. I run it like volleyballs, Papa's getting Cali love. I need the kind of love where mama's getting babies hugs. New drop, the city buzz, stand strong, I never budge.
This is a Jmix exclusive.
What up, shut up?